Bitch!
Hey, welcome to the Unimaginary Friendcast. This is episode number 268. This is a conversation with your socially distanced best friends. We are those best friends. Oh no, Nathan's not here. I'm Erin.
I'm Nathan Von Edmondson.
I'm Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr.
And I'm DavidMonster.com.
For those of you who have been following the Erin and Nathan saga, we're likely going to be tag teaming the podcast tonight because we have a screaming third member. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, how you doing, David? You good?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. We have a really fun topic tonight. We have a guest in the waiting room waiting to get on the show right now. It's a very special surprise guest. And this is a topic that David's been pushing us to do for quite a while now. And I'll be honest, Nathan and I both resisted for a while, not knowing how this topic would be approached. But David, I'm sure, has carefully crafted a beautiful and eloquent theme for tonight. Right, David?
Wait, you still haven't said what the topic is.
Oh, you showed it on the screen, but for our podcast listeners, it's Lesbians, a celebration, correct?
So were you guys resistant because you're homophobic? Is that why?
No, we didn't want to do anything that could potentially offend our lesbian sisters of the world.
Our what? Our
Lesbian.
David played a clip from the Golden Girls, the episode where Dorothy's friend is a lesbian and falls in love with a rose. That's what happens, right?
Yes.
Great episode. Fantastic. They were ahead of their time.
Totally.
Before we get into the topic and meet our special guest, let's go into the news.
Uh-oh. God, it's so hard. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Breaking news. David, what's going on this week?
Okay, do you want me to go first? Because mine's a little bit involved. Okay, I'll go first. Okay, people ask me, why do you have a problem with the human race? And I have visuals on why. Because the human race is, what's the word? The human race is just out of control. The human race might be beyond, what?
Can I jump in and finish that thought?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Like cockroaches on God's heavenly kitchen floor fighting over a lima bean.
How did you know that?
That is the all-time favorite quote from all of our listeners on the show.
So this is what happened this week is a friend of mine posted this post on her Facebook. I may decorate my home with dead things and rocks, but at least my fucking wall doesn't say live, laugh, love. Okay.
I'm really hating on stuff like that. There's a commercial out now. I can't remember what the product is, but it's basically telling people that people who have that sign should throw it in the garbage because they're stupid.
But which is funny that she posted it, but funnier yet, I posted under it. What do you think? What do you think David Monster would post under that post?
I don't know.
Sheer genius. Are you ready? This is what I wrote to her. I said, wait. If you don't have a sign that says live, laugh, love, how will you ever remember to do it? Right?
Yeah.
Great
question.
Exactly. So she wrote, ha ha ha, you kill me.
Okay.
But a woman passerby, one of her lady friends, and I'm glad it was a woman because it gives visual aid to the fact that I said that women splain just as much as men mansplain. So women, when you complain about mansplaining, complain about women splaining too. So this is what this woman wrote. She wrote, David, it's for people who don't actually do it, but want people to think they do and need the reminder to keep trying. So she's explaining to me why people have that on their wall, not understanding the interaction that happened before.
Well, hold on. This is someone that's not understanding your sense of humor and thinks that you didn't get it. So I feel like it's a little different than the mansplaining, right? It's just
no, because men mansplain because. Well, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, let's just say the intentions are different. Like mansplaining, usually the intentions are like talking down to someone like they're stupid, and this is like, oh, you didn't get my joke. Let me explain this joke to you. Or like, I don't understand your sense of humor. I think you're serious. So,
but how could this is wherein the bigger issue is why my problem with the human race. How could anyone not get that I'm joking? How could it possibly be?
David, so many people don't understand your sense of humor. Even Nathan and I sometimes.
It's true. I've caught you guys a couple times. All right, so that's my news.
Okay. My news is that last week I attended 2 Zoom weddings, which I know it's been a thing since COVID started, but it was my first time. The one was someone from Taiwan marrying someone in China through the state of Utah, like through a Mormon pastor, which I thought was unique.
Are they Mormons?
No. So she's from the United States. She's living in Taiwan. He's from Bosnia, but living in China. And they figured out that they could legally get married through online via Zoom through somebody in Utah. So the whole world is upside down now.
So the Mormons will marry, let me get this. The Mormons will marry people they've never met in Bosnia and Taiwan, but they won't marry the homos. Thank you, Mormons.
They are anti-gay.
Oh, they're super anti-gay. They put billions of dollars into no on whatever the gay thing was. Yeah, because they do not want to marry homosexuals in their church.
Well, then yes. And the other one was just a traditional old. It was an in-person wedding. We couldn't be there, and they had a Zoom stream of it, but which was actually nice because we could feel like they're good friends of ours in California. We're not there anymore, so we could feel like we were a part of it still. So, did
you guys get cake and eat it while you're watching?
No, we did have beverages and a screaming child, though. Does that count?
No. If you didn't have cake, then their marriage is doomed. I'm sorry. That's just the law.
It's funny, too, because they were kind of giving us shit because they postponed their wedding twice. So this is the third date they set because of COVID. And the first 2 we said yes to. And the third one, we're like, we have a baby now. Like, I don't think there's any way we could make this work. And they were kind of giving us grief a little bit. And so
for real? Like kidding around or for real?
Kidding around. I mean, they're good friends.
Okay.
So we posted.
I know them. But go ahead, yeah.
We posted a photo of Nathan and I like cheersing with the baby screaming her face off in the background to be like, yeah, this is why I come to your wedding.
The baby screaming. That's nice.
And I guess we'll have to be on the edge of our seat for Nathan's news when he comes down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's move on to this week's Gold Star. This week's Gold Star goes to Hooligan Mama.
What did she do? She's insane.
That's not her real name. That's her, I don't know if it's a YouTube handle or Facebook handle or something. That's her internet persona. She's an avid listener of the podcast. Big fan. She reached out to us after the last episode. We had our baby on the podcast last time, and she reached out and asked for our address. And just went out on a limb and gave her our address. You know, we don't know her. David vouched for her, so we felt like, okay, cool. Let's see what's going on here. And maybe 3 or 4 days later, we get a card with money for diapers, and then a box of all these amazing kids' clothes. Like, I don't even know how many there were. There were like a dozen or more, like onesies and like little cute shirts and jackets. And I brought the one thing down because this was my favorite thing. It was like this like little green hoodie. So
my God.
She totally outfitted our child and gave us money to buy diapers. And I couldn't think of anyone that was more deserving of our Gold Star this week. We are so appreciative. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, she deserves a Gold Star. And she also sent me a box of chocolates on Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Aww.
So, wow, good going. Is she on? Is she here?
No.
Hooligan Mama, are you here? Are you here?
Are you monitoring the comments?
Yeah, I am.
So,
well, cool.
So until Nathan gets down, I think maybe we should bring our special guest.
Are you ready, special guest? Are you ready to come on?
Hello.
she is.
David, could you introduce who is on the show right now?
Oh no, I thought you had the bio. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Will you chat with her and then I will pull up her bio? Erin always does the bios. I'm sorry.
We have Nathan here, and he'll be able to give his news. So
Oh, okay.
I think
I'm pulling up the bio.
he masterfully put our daughter to bed. So
Well, she's not really asleep. I guess you could say my news is that
I'll watch her. I'll watch.
she's underneath a camera, slowly
No.
cutting off, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. She's not screaming her head off, though. So
So if I leave at any point, you know why. Nathan's gonna take over the rest of the episode.
yeah, so that's
Well, David's very unprepared to introduce our guests. So do you want to give your news?
hey
for the week?
Jen.
Hey.
Let's see, my news for the week. I didn't even get a chance to. So this is what life is. You're just kind of like, what am I supposed to be doing? What is the thing? Oh, okay. Let me see. So I picked up. David, you will appreciate this. Today I picked up a piece of. I don't know if do you use kettlebells at all?
Sometimes.
Okay, I picked up a kettlebell today. So let's see how
Ooh.
that goes. I felt like it needed a kettlebell is, it looks like a cannonball with a handle on it. And they come in different weight sizes. If you work out, you probably know all about them. If you don't, that's what it is. And you can do different things. What do you do with it? You can do like swings, you can do presses, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. But kettlebell swings are kind of like the big thing with kettlebells. What do you do with it, David?
I'll do swings. Sometimes it's good for arms. I don't know, lots of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So that's my news. I got a big heavy piece of metal, so probably stub my toe on.
Awesome.
All right, David.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have today with us Jen Curcio. She's an LA-based. Hello, Jen. She's an LA-based storyteller, writer, and co-host of A Touch from the Past podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, she's from Delco, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And what is that? What is Delco?
Yeah, what is that?
It's Delaware County, which is like really a county. It's not like a town. It's the whole county. And I only bring it up because to me, it's like it's a really trashy place, but with an atrocious accent. But Kate Winslet I was mentioning this before off air, that Kate Winslet is in a show called Mayor of Easttown that's set in Delco, and she is like the only actor that I've ever seen actually do the accent.
Wow. What can you do it at all?
Yeah.
Of course I can, hun. So you don't say water, you say Wudder. Meryl Streep won an Oscar, and she took it home.
Yes. Okay.
Beautiful.
Home.
It sounds like Downton Abbey.
Yeah, people have said that, and I'm like, I've never seen that show, so I'm like, okay. Like when I first moved to LA, everybody was like, "You're Australian or Canadian?" And I was like, "No, I'm from Delco. I'm from Philly."
Nice. And what do you guys talk about on A Touch from the Past podcast?
So what we do is, well, before COVID, we would take someone we knew to a place that they felt was haunted or like it creeped them out, something with some substantial, like, I mean, for example, I would love to take Erin and Nathan to Eastern State Penitentiary because I know you guys, yeah. So we would do that. So Clark, my co-host, and I went to, Penhurst in Pennsylvania, and we stayed the night. It was super creepy.
Wait, were you allowed to stay the night? Or
Yeah, we did like a tour, but they were like, all right, it kind of got whittled down. There was only like 3 people left, so they were like, just do what you want. So we just wandered off, and it was super creepy.
Whoa.
I want to do that.
I've only been to Penhurst once, and it's a big space. That whole facility is a lot of buildings on a big chunk of land.
Yeah. It is a big abandoned mental institution.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy. They do a hunt there, very similar to what Eastern State did.
Wow. Well, when you guys are backing up and running, I'm not afraid of anywhere in LA, but I would love to participate. Is there anything
Yeah.
creepy in LA?
Oh, there's actually tons of stuff. It's so funny because when we started, I was like, there's nothing creepy here. Like everything was built in the 80s. And then I totally got schooled. I mean, there's so much stuff. Downtown LA is actually built on a graveyard. I didn't know
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But because it used to be that people used to sneak down there, but I think they closed it all off, right?
Yeah, they did.
Wait, the graveyard is still there? It's underground?
Yeah, it's
there's
like
tunnels and things, yeah.
Whoa,
yeah.
I feel like we need to do a whole episode on this stuff.
Yeah.
We should. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, that's a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Please steal your idea.
No, it's super fun because there's also there was a elementary school in Boyle Heights that's built on, it's just totally like they were digging up the football field and found bodies because it was just a graveyard.
Oh my god.
So yeah, and they like kind of covered it up. They were like, like, let's not talk about this. We know we did this. And then they were doing some sort of construction, like putting in a sprinkler system. And they were like, what is this?
Do you know what graveyard? Like a Native American graveyard, or is it more like pioneers, settlers, or?
It was mostly Chinese Americans.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have an audience question here for you, Jen, asking if you have Wudder ice in the summer there in Delco.
We sure do. We go to Rita's.
Can anyone explain to me what Wudder ice is? I mean, I know what it is. It's flavored ice, but why do you call it Wudder ice? Isn't all ice Wudder?
Well, it's kind of like shaved ice, but there's like different varieties of it. There's like Italian and Polish.
But why do they call it Wudder ice? Why don't they call it flavored ice?
I have no idea.
My guess is it's more of a slushy, right? So it's not just a solid block of ice. So it's water.
Yeah, it's more. It's like a little bit like. It's like not as textured as. Sorry, my dog is like trying to play. So the water ice is more like it's like smoother than like a shaved ice.
Okie dokie. Oh, and I do want to say before we move on, I didn't know if anybody else knew this, and Jen, you might be interested in this. There are 11 miles of underground tunnels all throughout Los Angeles that were built during the Prohibition times. Yeah,
that was like a whole big thing too. And I mean, I'll nerd out on this, so like, don't let me make this podcast my podcast.
This is your podcast. Yeah. It's all about you. It's a celebration.
I did have a quick question, and so I feel like you're the expert since you're from Delco. Is Rita's considered like legitimate, like local Wudder ice, or is that like the franchise, like too big for the area kind of brand, and you go to like the small mom and pop shops?
I feel like it's still it's like the local thing. I mean, it's like, it's obviously a franchise and there's one here. There used to be more, but I feel like Rita's is still like the place to go. There's like a couple of mom and pop shops here and there, but mostly it's just Rita's.
Cleared that up.
Yeah, I'm glad.
We need to jump into the main topic, and I might need to step off briefly. So take it away, guys.
Okay, so Lesbianation, a celebration. Before we begin, maybe we should ask, what do you identify as, Jen? And is this insulting, foisting a lesbian celebration onto you?
No, I'm not insulted or anything like that. I guess I would consider myself, I mean, technically, yes, a lesbian, but I think I would really slap on just the queer label. I don't know. It's weird. Like, maybe I'm offensive because I feel like the lesbian label is like kind of dated in a way. I don't know if that's, I don't know.
Well, we're seeing a smearing these days where like people are opening up more about what they are. Because it used to be not too long ago when bisexuals weren't allowed at the party.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, it's like, and then it used to be like when I was growing up, lesbians would kind of shun women that would swing back towards men and stuff like that. They'd get really mad. So it's like, it's opening. I think all of them are opening up more now.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing is like, not to damn lesbians or anything like that, but I feel like not a lot of my experience, but I've had experiences where women will be like, oh, like even if you've slept with a man, like, ew, gross. So it's almost like I was deterred from wanting to have that label, like a similar bad, I don't know. Maybe I'm being offensive.
No, but I found that too. I've been in conversations where a woman, like they talk about that, where they're like, oh God, she went back with a man and stuff like that. And it's like, what's it to
Who
you?
cares? Yeah.
The whole point of the LGBT community was to open it up for people that were alternative and didn't have a place to go.
I think that's interesting, just your point of like queer versus lesbian, though, because queer seems to be more inclusive and a broader statement as opposed to lesbian, which seems very specific and narrow, or just specific. Yeah, and it's also interesting that there's whatever your interpretations of what lesbians are like based on your personal experience, whether they're like this way or that way.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a question from Erin from the other room saying lesbian purity test. I think she wants you to take a test to make sure that you're an actual lesbian.
Okay.
So I have heard a lot of different definitions of queer from people who identify as queer. What is your definition of queer?
I mean, I guess it's like, I think it's kind of like what Nathan was saying. It's like just a more broad spectrum. Like, I mean, because I did at one point have boyfriends. I don't necessarily think I would now in my life, but I feel like people change. So I guess to me, queer is like, it's like an evolving thing, I guess.
Cool. Are you in a lesbian relationship right now?
I am.
Ooh, with a lesbian?
No. I mean,
go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess another queer person,
It's funny because when I was young, a long time ago, there were very definite roles, or that you'd see. Obviously, there were people that were different, but there were Butch and there were Femme. But I think that is it's almost archaic now because it's not happening. I mean, there are still women who are Butch and women who are Femme. But do you experience that in your lesbian circle?
A little bit. Not so much. I can't say recently. I can't really say in the last like 5 years I've really encountered those like hard line, I don't want to say boxes, but like people fitting into boxes.
Yeah. And before we get, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to break it down. We're going to have a quiz where we're going to find out if you really are a lesbian, and Nathan's going to take it too. We're going to find out how lesbian he is. Then we're going to have funny facts, and then we're going to ask you more questions about lesbianality. And one of the questions I want you to ruminate on, well, no, let's just ask it now since we're here. Because it used to be where I knew women that used the word dyke to describe themselves. Do you find that term offensive? I
don't, but it can still be wielded in that way.
Yeah.
But I don't I say it. I feel like I throw that word around a lot, but I also I feel like that's my word to throw around.
Totally.
I don't know why I'm very obsessed with big dyke energy. Very. I feel like Princess Diana created big dyke energy.
Ooh, and how did she do that?
She just had it. I don't know. She may never have even been with a woman, but she had that big dyke energy. She had that style. She was like a sporty, you know what I mean? It's a look. Exactly. It's a whole look. It's a look and it's a vibe.
She was very defiant too for her role in the monarchy. She was kind of pushing the edges of it.
Yes, exactly.
Totally. I've got to check it out more because I can't even think of her voice. I don't ever remember hearing her speak.
I don't think
I don't think I do either. She was very gruff now.
But you have friends that call themselves dykes, right?
I do.
Yeah. So it used to be that dykes would never be with dykes. They just wouldn't. They would always seek out a femme. But now I've seen just in the last 5 years, I've seen 3 different dyke couples. And it's a thing now.
So is that Butch? Like maybe I'm misunderstanding it.
Butch,
Okay, that's what
Butch
I thought.
girls,
Yeah.
Butch girls.
Okay.
In fact, I even know a girl that we met another girl who was Butch, and I was like, oh my god, she's so cute. You should go out with her. And she even said, ew, gross. I would never go out with a Butch girl. Come to find out, saw her last year. She's with a Butch girl now. So those
knew what
lines
she
are
wanted.
blurring now too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Butch doesn't equal 100% dyke to you, though.
No, not to me. I think that's like, I guess that's just like an all-encompassing label for lesbians, which I don't, you know.
Where's the lesbian encyclopedia? We need to check the.
Yeah, where is that?
Okay, let's get into the quiz to see how lesbian you guys really are. Okay, we're asking both of you guys right now, and I wish Erin was here because there's a good chance. I mean, come on, you know Erin.
Let me just say that Erin and I think we said this on the podcast before. Actually, Erin asks David, "What is your obsession?"
With lesbians?
Sounds like it. Yeah, I think that's the question.
Well, we're going to get to all of it, but actually...
If you want to say it, we can get to that.
Yeah, we're going to get to it because it's funny. Well, lesbians are funny, first of all, you have to admit, and we're going to find out why. And that's not denigrating. We're going to actually find out why.
Okay, so what I was going to say is that even though I think we've said this on the podcast before, Erin and I have taken this psychological test, and she has more masculine traits, typically masculine traits, and I have more feminine traits. So we skew opposite our gender and.
But it's funny because in 20 years they're gonna look at you at like because that's those masculine and feminine traits. It's so ridiculous. Like they're gonna look. But well, typically, from this point on, you're saying,
simplification. So one would be like conscientiousness versus like, or I forget there was like a 5-point scale that they used. So like
sensitivity, I remember was a part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, you're like extremely, empathetic and sensitive versus like you don't give a shit. Like she's more on the I don't give a shit side, I'm more on the like feeling. I'm always
which is so racist because those aren't masculine and feminine traits. But we took the test. And
it isn't necessarily masculine or feminine. It's just that typically males are more this thing than,
Yeah, it's like that old, like, I don't want to say old yet, but like that preconceived idea of like gender norms and, I get that.
Give your test, David.
Okay, we're going to do the test. And Erin wrote, I can take the test. So she texted us from the other room. So I guess she's going to take the test as we do it.
Baby texting.
It could be. It could be. How do we know that your baby's not a lesbian? All right. So after the second question, I'm going to answer a little bit of why the obsession. But the first question is, and it's posed to all three of you guys, where does the term lesbian come from?
The Greek, right? The Greek people.
Yeah, but do you know specifically?
No.
How about you, Nathan? Do you know? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Derivative of like lasso?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's that island, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The island the island
Lesbos.
of what?
Lesbos.
Lesbos. And do you know why they used that island?
It was nice.
No, it's because it was home to the lesbian poetress whose name is what? Famous lesbian poetress, guys.
Dyke Monitress?
Princess Diana.
Erin says she has no idea. It's because she's trying to prove that she's not a lesbian. Oh wait, Joe might know. Ancient Greek Sappho of Lesbos. There's a great. The first lesbian poetress in record is Sappho, who died in 570 BCE. Thank you, Joe Denotra, for knowing the answer.
That's a long time.
So far, Joe is the biggest lesbian out of all of us. Okay, question number 2. It's 2 and 2A. Okay, there are 34 gay boy bars in LA. How many lesbian bars are there in LA?
Currently 0, but somebody I know is opening one soon.
Ooh, but you knew the answer 0. Did you know the answer, Nathan?
I was going to venture a guess with one. Seemed like a safe number.
Okay, there was one from like 1960 to 2013 called the Palms. Did you ever make it there, Jen, to the Palms, or is that?
Nope.
I actually used to hang out at the Palms, ladies and gentlemen, and I met Christy McNichol there, which you guys probably have no idea who she is. Susie Sue, the Banshees,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Runaways. The girls from the Runaways used to hang out there too. Erin thought there were 2 lesbian bars. Erin's not as lesbian as I thought she was. Okay, in Philadelphia there are 19 gay boy bars. How many lesbian bars are there in Philadelphia?
1.
Okay, how many do you think, Nathan?
There's definitely one.
There was one, but it closed down.
Really? I've had many a dance party there.
Oh, really?
The Toasted Walnut?
Yep, it closed down. It closed down last year.
Damn, when did it? Oh, okay, because I went there in 2017.
What did you call it, Jen?
Okay.
Isn't it the Toasted Walnut?
I'm thinking of a different place.
Oh, what place did you go to, Nathan?
Maybe it's the same place and just had a different name at the time, but oh god, I really don't remember. It was like
So this is go ahead. So this is part of my obsession. Actually, I was hanging out with a lesbian friend. It was after 2013. We were in LA. She wanted to meet another lesbian. You can go to any city in the world and you can meet a straight guy, you can meet a straight girl, you can find gay boys. In LA, there's some nights you cannot find a lesbian.
It's true.
After Home Depot is closed. Am I right, Jen? Have you ever been on the search for a lesbian and couldn't find one?
You're right. I'm telling you, after that Home Depot closes, it's done.
So it's kind of like lesbians are unicorns. It's like they're not as visible, but they do. We're gonna get to that too. What they started, which I wish gay boys would do. One of our listeners says Overly Sarcastic Productions on YouTube has a great historical video about Sappho. I would like to check it out. I would like to know more about Sappho. I don't know enough. Okay, our next question, ladies and gentlemen, what was the lavender scare?
Oh, I know. It was wasn't that in Hollywood when the gays, well, I say the gays, they were afraid of gay people getting too into the culture, with maybe writing jobs. Just in Hollywood, they were afraid of the gays taking over Hollywood, basically.
You're part right. Yeah, it was in the 1950s. It was in the USA and the UK. And in the United States, it was led by Senator Everett Dirksen, who was kind of like the McCarthy of homosexuality. And they would go after gay people, trying to weed them out of Hollywood because they didn't want them visible. And do you know what they would label them so that they could arrest them?
Well, perverts, right?
Well, there's more. It's funny because they did call them perverts, but I didn't know this. That they would say that they were involved in communist activities, so that they could arrest them and take them in. And this is the 1950s.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, you're not very lesbian today, Nathan.
Sorry, I can't even remember the club. It was a nightclub though. It wasn't necessarily a bar. I want to say Honey's. It seems too.
How long ago was that? Maybe there was another lesbian bar for a moment.
So the last time I would have went there would probably be 2011. 2010.
Wait, I skipped over this comment by Erin.
Place, maybe she remembers. We would go there with staff from Terror Behind the Walls. We would have parties there sometimes.
Lesbian parties. Erin made a comment from the other room saying gay bars don't count, ? No, they don't. Erin, because very, very different activities. Jen can back me up on this. Very different activities happen at gay bars and lesbian bars, and the gay boys can be a lot more handsy. I feel like, right, Jen? What do you think, Jen?
I mean, if it's like ladies' night at the chapel next to in WeHo, the big gay bar. I can't remember the name. Anyway, that'll get handsy with even the ladies. But I feel like the gay bar in Philly, the Toasted Walnut, that was just sad. It was like the saddest place on earth. I mean, I had a good time, but like it felt very like melancholy, and I was like, this is why there are no lesbian bars, if we're being honest.
Was it just a bunch of old lesbians, or?
It was not. It was like very young. Like nobody was really talking to each other. I went with a friend, so I was like just having a good time, but like nobody was talking to each other, but you could tell everyone wanted to be talking to each other. It was just strange. But then this like bizarre French band came in and they were wearing furry costumes. I kid you not. And
that sounds awesome. Were they cool?
Yeah. They were, but they were like not having any of my shenanigans. Like I was like, let me put on that unicorn head. The one was a unicorn, and they were like, get out of here. And I was like, no, wait, you play accordion? I love accordions. And they were like, get out of here.
Hey, you know what? No. Okay, the next question is hard.
I found the name of the club I was talking about. It was called Sisters.
Yes, I do remember. I never went there though.
It was really fun. I think there were 2 levels. You'd walk up these stairs and there were 2 levels. There was like, like the bar area with tables and stuff. And then upstairs was like a dance club. I just found this article that in 2013, they shut down abruptly after 17 years in operation.
Wow. Are you sure it was just a lesbian bar? Because that sounds like a gay bar. Sisters.
No, city's longest running lesbian bar.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like historical.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I used to work the front door at Tavern on Kamak, which is a gay bar in Philly. And I worked briefly at Voyeur as well. That nightclub. It's like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something.
Wow.
Yeah, that one seemed a little too wild.
That was very when everyone's hammered beyond belief and doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you guys ready for your next? Oh, this one's a hard one. It's just kind of just so I can say the fact for all the lesbians out there. Okay. Who were the daughters of Bilitis?
I don't know.
Nathan, do you know? It was the first lesbian political rights organization founded in the United States in 1955, and it was an answer to the Labrador Scare where they were taking them all in. They're coming to get a lesbian right now. And it was the last. It started in 1955, and the last chapter was disbanded in 1995.
Wow. Okay,
next question. What color triangle were lesbians assigned in the Nazi concentration camps?
Wasn't it pink?
No.
That was men.
Yeah. Huh?
Blue.
No. That would make more sense.
Purple.
No. It doesn't make sense. Black. They were black triangles. But some of when I found that out, because I didn't know that either. But there are some organizations that use the black. Obviously, there's tons of gay males that use the pink triangles. Okay.
I gotta say that contradicts the Weezer song.
What's the Weezer song? Sing it.
It's Pink Triangle, and it's about him falling in love with a woman who's a lesbian. I can't remember the lyrics. I just know what it's about.
He probably just thought the pink triangle was for all of them, but no. The Nazis, I read this thing where the Nazis had something against, they obviously had something against homosexuals, but women aren't being mothers was a big thing to them. And it's just like, so the black was assigned to them, which is like, okay, whatever. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what year did the American Psychiatric Association remove homosexuality from its list of mental diseases?
1994.
What?
I said 94.
I think it was like 2012. Like it was something very recent, if I recall. Or it was 1972.
Wow! It's 1973. It was 1973. Yeah.
All right, but 1 year. Okay.
Nailed it.
Yes.
But it's true. I know it seems like it's that is like 50 something years ago, or like 50 years ago, but it is. I know it seems like seems like something else happened more recently, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, Erin guessed 1993. Oh, Lorna Howley, sorry, guessed 1993. You're close, Lorna. 20 years off. Okay, you guys, this is a good one. You guys know the answer to this, but you just have to think about it. What was the first lesbian bookstore in the United States? And bonus points for knowing what year it opened.
All I can think of is Portlandia.
I would like to open a bookstore called Portlandia. No, you guys know, you know the answer to this.
Barnes and Noble.
Close. You're really close, actually. Think. Once I say it, you guys are going to be like, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's like
What are the most famous in Greek mythology? What are the most famous group of lesbians? Okay, it was called
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Bookstore.
Really?
And it was open. It was closed in 2008, and then someone went to buy it, but they had to change the name to True Colors because Amazon sued them. Which sucks. Which sucks.
Where
big
were they
dicks.
opened?
They were opened in Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota, which is strange, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when was the first openly gay member of Congress elected, and who was it?
Oh, wasn't it?
I know. I feel like
Barney. Isn't it? His name's like. Oh, okay.
I know. I thought it would have been, and I thought it should have been a bigger deal, but I think it's because it's a lesbian. It was 2012. Tammy Baldwin, so it wasn't made a big deal of. I guess she just got to work. She's not like the gays; like they need the fanfare and the attention. She just got to work. She's like, "I'm a lesbian. I'm getting to work." Okay, Jen, this is a question for you. Are U-Haul lesbians a mythical stereotype? Are U-Haul lesbians a mythical stereotype?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I feel like maybe not so much a mythical stereotype as they are just like non-existent anymore. But when I moved in with my current partner, we did use a U-Haul. So, but we didn't like, it wasn't like after the second date, you know.
How long was it?
Of a U-Haul.
It was a year. What was that?
Year.
Yeah, it was a year.
Is that the definition of a U-Haul lesbian, David?
Yeah, they move in on the second date. Yeah.
So you guys waited a year.
A year, which is a respectable amount of time. Yeah, but it's funny because there was a poll online, and lesbians are like, yeah, absolutely, that's a true thing. And they recounted like, yeah, we knew these girls that after 3 weeks they moved in together. Bam, bam, bam. The cats, the dogs, everything.
It happens, but I feel like a friend of mine who's straight, she like met this guy, and like a month later she was like, we're engaged and he lives here now, and I was like, ooh, this quarantine's gonna be over.
That's in Los Angeles.
No, it's not.
It's not. Oh, okay.
Where was it?
In Philly.
Oh. Wow. Okay, is dating women for a woman easier than dating men?
No. I'd say no.
What do you think, Nathan?
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, Jen. No, finish.
I was gonna say, like, in the sense, like, in a sense, yes, because I'm like more interested in them, but in women. But other than that, no.
What do you think, Nathan?
So the question is it easier for a woman to date a woman than a man to date a woman? Is that the question?
No, for a woman, is it easier to date a woman than dating a man?
I have no idea.
The poll said no. Women are like, absolutely not. The only thing that's easier is they're more comfortable body-wise, and they don't have expectations of what their body should look like.
Yeah.
But other than that, they said there's no clear. Because like a woman, like straight women will say like, I put my foot down and the guy will capitulate. Like with women, no, it doesn't happen that way. It's a very different thing. And there's more drama. Do you find there's more drama? Because woman after woman said there's more drama.
I would say not in my current like not every relationship is dramatic, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, sometimes. It depends.
It's case by case, and it's changing now that we're able to live more normally. I think, or like that's not the right word. It's like that. It's more normalized.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the last of the quiz questions. How do you immediately spot the real lesbian in a porn? Like in those lesbian porns, how do you immediately spot? Jen might get this if she thinks about it.
I don't know.
Think about all the hair and the makeup and all the things.
Oh, nails!
Nails! Nathan, when you come across a woman with short nails, that's the real lesbian. Because it's true, like and I even did a little research. They like the straight women like to have the nails and everything. They're like, oh, pretending to be lesbians, but they're not. Okay, so I feel like Jen smoked your ass on that one, Nathan. What do you think?
I hope so.
Okay, now we're going to go on to the humorous round where we're going to talk about humorous things that were written about lesbians in the past.
Oh, man.
Well, actually, this wasn't in the past. When I was searching for things, for facts about lesbians, there was this website, and this person wrote all these things, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to read them to you as they were written, so you can see how strange it was. Lesbian. This is exactly how the person wrote it. Lesbian loves to club. Jen, what does that mean? What does that mean?
I think he's talking about those women who go out to the club every night. Those lesbians who, they go out to the club every night. I know them.
So that's a fact about lesbians.
Uh-oh. Erin just posted that she has always had short nails.
I have something to tell you.
Jen, not only that, Jen, she would dress up in men's clothing, and she dressed up in men's clothing when she was in high school and took her best friend to the prom who was wearing she wore men's clothing. Her best friend wore a dress.
Yeah.
Okay. She's always been good at sports. Okay. And she's always had short hair and short nails. Except for now she has long hair.
I was going to say, she has long hair.
She has long hair now. Oh, she's going to cut it off? Is she going to cut it off?
I bet. I mean, it's just like having a baby that's always grabbing it. Oh, she wore old men's clothes.
Old men's. So like grandfather, or do you mean like the age of the clothes were old?
She'll answer us in a moment. Okay, the next fact is, it just says not good drinkers.
I do not agree with that.
And this fact, really? So you're a good drinker?
I think I am. And then, like, I was on a lesbian kickball team, and we would drink afterwards. And like Australian people would come into the bar, and they'd be like, "Oi." I'm not gonna do the accent, but they'd be like, let's drink. Like, you guys seem like you're good drinkers, and we would outdrink the Australians. Not saying all Australians are drunkards or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a coincidence, but you know.
I think stereotypically they're expected to be able to like hold their own and
but it is more. Australia is more of a drinking society than America, for sure, 100%. And Erin wants us to know that she's about to cut all her hair off, and she's keeping her nails short, and she wore old men's style clothing. Yeah. Huh. Okay, then this next fact about lesbians, I need you to clarify. He just writes, or I'm saying he, but it might be he or she. Okay, this is the fact. Thursday is lesbian night.
Nope, it's Wednesdays.
It's Wednesday? Is that,
what?
Gay bars that like?
Well, yeah, I think it's like for gay bars. I think like Wednesday was ladies' night at the Abbey.
Oh wow, but that's
so
really
that's difficult because that's like a state by state, city by city case. You know.
Yeah, I thought he was just saying in general, like Thursday is
every day is lesbian day if you are one.
That's true. And there's a lot more. I'm going to post on our Facebook page the link to that site because it's hysterical. This thing, the rest of the things. And then this is from a 1963 book called A New Look at the Lesbian by Scott O'Neill. and we're going to need you to clarify all these things.
Why is Scott O'Neill writing about this?
I know. Well, he did an in-depth study, and you'll see that he did a very in-depth study. Are you ready? The first fact he has is there are actually many cases of vampirism on the records, cases in which cuts have been inflicted on the body of the Femme and the blood sucked out of them by her Butch. I think that come on.
Yeah,
it is very
Army Hammer. I guess I feel like I went on like a date once with someone who was like, I'm a vampire, and it was like an hour, and I wrapped it up quickly, and I got out of there.
And plus, like, come on, like, we know, like, that's a thing. That's a fetish some people are into. Obviously, not a lesbian. That's just so stupid. Like, I've known gay boys and straight girls that are into that too.
Yeah, I think that's anybody.
But he goes on to say, biting, a form of oral sadism, is frequent among lesbians and probably accounts for a higher number of turtleneck sweaters sold to them. So, Jen, we need to ask you this. How many turtleneck sweaters do you own?
Just 2.
Just 2? That's only
just
2.
2.
So you're tapering off? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello, welcome back.
Oh, you have a quiet baby.
Have you guys determined that I'm a lesbian based on those last few things I wrote?
Yeah, we were gonna wait to tell you, but
are you Butch or Femme though, Erin?
Ooh, I don't know.
She's a little bit of both.
This is all new to me.
Yeah.
Those are old labels. So.
Yeah, those are old labels, Erin. So stop it. Okay. The maternal instinct in lesbians is always present. They are given to sublimation of this womanly quality in some cases towards their cats, dogs, and birds.
True.
It is true, huh? And are you a cat lesbian or a dog lesbian?
I like both cats and dogs, but I have a dog right now.
Definitely.
I like cats and dogs too.
Definitely.
You're a cat lesbian? Yeah, Erin's a cat lesbian.
For sure.
Okay, Erin, this I'm gonna have to follow up with a question of you on this, since you're a new lesbian. Okay, set 100 women down on a deserted island, and within a week, a quarter of this number will become lesbians. Erin, you've done a lot of traveling.
Correct. What is the question?
So, do either one of you think this is true? If you take 100 women and put them on a desert island, at least 25 of them are going to go les.
I've got no experience with that happening, so I don't know how to answer that.
What about you, Jen?
I'm going to say it's more. It's 45%.
It depends on how long they're on there. Oh, yeah, you wrote a book, and what was it called?
The Lesbian in, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what statistics are in prison.
Dude.
Yeah, probably
100.
100. Yeah, well, why not, you know?
Yeah.
No, well, they call the LARPs or whatever, lesbian until release date or something like that. I forget the LERDs or something like that. But it depends on how long. If you put 100 men on an island, some of them are going to get off with each other, even if they're all straight. Yeah, because in prisons, they make each other suck each other off. All right, this is one of my favorite sentences I've ever read. You got to wait till the very end to get how awesome this sentence is. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
One reason the lesbian hangouts are so well covered by our law enforcement agency is because the frequency of fights, knifings, and hair-pulling contests. So how many hair-pulling contests have you engaged in, Jen?
None.
None? Never?
Never.
What kind of a lesbian are you?
I guess to have some trophies.
Yeah, no. Well, they're in the other room, but...
But it's just funny that he calls them hair-pulling contests. Like, they're like, okay, ready, go.
Go. Hand
but
over
he must...
hand.
I mean, in the 60s, okay, let me tell you something. In the 60s, I mean, of course, there were lesbians of all different hair lengths, but a lot of them had the super short crew-cut hair.
Yeah.
And interesting fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but back in the day, the way you would find a gay bar is because it used to just be women and men in the same bar back before the 60s. how would you find a gay bar if you didn't want to ask outright, Jen? If you went to a new city and you wanted to find a gay bar, how would you find it, but you didn't want to ask somebody because you didn't want to out yourself?
I guess just see where the local hair pulling contest is happening.
You would follow the Butch girl. You'd follow the
Yeah.
Butch girl around, and she'd eventually lead you to a gay bar.
She has to stop sometime.
All right. Now we're going to go on to the personal questions to Jen Curcio. Are you ready, Jen? These are only for you.
All right.
Yeah, what lesbian words do you like and which ones do you find offensive?
I mean, I guess I'm okay with saying dyke. I feel like it would be offensive depending on who's saying it.
And how, yeah.
Yeah, and how. I guess I guess like I can't think of any other words for it. I mean, I guess like carpet muncher, that's like pretty pretty gross. Let's all throw that one away.
Wait a minute. I have it online and you can see it on YouTube. I wrote, and I want to keep writing it, a series of cartoons called the Carpet Munchers, but they're a band. They're a band called the Carpet Munchers. Is that offensive?
No, I mean, in that context, no.
Wouldn't you be tempted to join a band called the Carpet Munchers?
Maybe a little bit.
if they let you wear the unicorn head?
Yeah, and play the accordion. That's the only way.
I'm going to add an accordion player to the Carpet Munchers. Okay, what is the dumbest question straight people ask you?
You know, I'm surprised because usually, like before, like when I first came out, if I was like with a woman, they'd be like, "Oh, like I guess you're more the man." And I was always like, "No." So I guess that's like the typical one, but I feel like I don't really get that anymore. I guess like, no, I can't think of anything as of late that people ask about it.
When did you come out? Oh, sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I guess the typical, you know, who's the man kind of crap is like the worst. Yeah. I came out when I was 29, so like 7.5 years ago. 7.
Wow. I thought you were younger than 29 now. Wow.
Oh, damn. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. At 29, so do you come from a religious family?
No. But I feel like there were like a lot of religious people around me that like kind of put that, like I'm not religious. I didn't grow up with religion, but it's still like, you know, swirls around.
It's thick in the air in Pennsylvania, right?
That's what it's definitely like thicker in the air there.
Really, it's like, yeah, everyone's Christian.
Yeah. Super Christian.
When did you have go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's so weird because it's like I wasn't even aware of like the things that I do that are Christian like until like a year ago. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm such a Christian.
What do you do that are Christian like?
Well, like like when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I didn't know that like rest in peace is just a Christian thing. Like you're not supposed to say that for Jewish people.
Oh, I didn't know that either, actually.
Yeah, and then like you know, like the whole idea of like committing a crime or like you're not supposed to say commit suicide because that's like tied up with sin, and like it kind of adds this like other level of like sinful badness to it when it's like, you know, so it's just kind of like a weird Christian thing that's seeping
Puritan in its roots or something, right?
Yeah.
Wow. When did you have the cognitive thought that you were a lesbian? Like when did you?
I would say in like, I feel like my whole life, but like I kind of always knew since I was like maybe like in elementary school. I was like, I just don't, you know, I just didn't really like the like boys the way my friends did, and like certainly like as soon as Titanic came out, I was like, I have no interest in Leo, but let's talk about Kate.
Oh, that's funny. And did you start lesing off in high school?
For like a hot minute, for like 1 minute, and then I was like, nope. You know.
Wait, why? Why did you stop?
I would say it was because of like some of my friendships did either just totally disappear. Like there was like a lot of judgment even in high school. Well, of course in high school. So I definitely like walked it right back into that closet. So
Wow, really?
yeah.
That's interesting. Did you experiment in college?
No. And it's
You did?
this here's the bitch of it. I went to an all-girls art school.
How did you avoid lesbian activity?
I just did. Like I was just like cutting corners left and right to dodge it. I mean, it wasn't. I had a boyfriend too, so that helps.
But weren't they like, oh, boyfriend? Like they don't care. Were
like,
chicks coming on to you or?
There was like one that I can think of who did, and like my friend was like, "Do you want me to pretend?" She was this like very tall woman from South Philly, and she was like, "You want me to pretend I'm your girlfriend?" So she stops, and I was like, "No, like we don't."
Oh, fun. And you didn't fall. You didn't have a crush on any girls in high school or college?
Of course I did.
But you were like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, I was like, I was so anxious about it. I was like, I can't. Like, it's just, you know.
I understand. And so when you came out, did any of your fears become realized?
Yeah, some of them. I mean, some, you know, I was afraid that some relatives wouldn't be okay with it. And I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of realized like, oh, like they're assholes. You know what I mean? Like, like a lot of them are like super into like the one specifically is like super into QAnon. Like nobody, like she's like, we've like gotten her out of the family. Like we don't, you know, talk to her, but.
Yeah, there's no reasoning with QAnon people.
No.
Wow. So super Republic-y. And okay, I wanted to run this by you because when you in the media in movies and stuff, they always portray the man or the father as the one who's going to be really against their kids being gay. But when you talk to gay guys, it's the mother, like almost 80% of the time that freak out the most. Do you find it's men or women, like older men or women in your family that freaked out more?
I would say the women for sure.
Isn't it weird that it doesn't come across in TV and movies and stuff that they don't write about that?
It's so, I wonder if it's because the writers are maybe straight. I don't know.
Yeah, or mainly men.
For example, I think that was true as well, where it was the mother who was more, or it seemed to me to be more upset, but I'm not exactly sure if that's true. But that's crazy. I wouldn't expect that, I guess. But
no, totally.
Quick question for you, Jen. When you decided, when you did come out, what was the catalyst? Like, what was the moment that was like, you know what, fuck it?
Yeah, it's funny because it was like I had a breast cancer scare. And I was like, like if this is gonna end soon, like I'm not gonna be happy about it. Like I didn't really like all that. So I was like, if this, I like basically it was benign. I had to get a biopsy. It was benign, and then I had to keep going back for like every few months for like almost 2 years. And once I was done with that 2-year mark, I was like, it's on. Like we're doing this.
So you did? Are you one of those girls that came barreling out of the closet?
I did. I was like, whew.
And what happened? Like, did you just date everyone in sight?
No, I mean, I would say I dated like a normal, healthy amount. Like I wasn't wild about it, but it was it was like healthy. I see Erin's dealing with a lot with the cat and the baby.
Cat. Holding her baby, our cat is jumping into her lap.
And the baby just woke up. So
oh no.
So wait, so where do you find? Are you an online dater, or how do you find ladies to date?
Yeah, I did it online.
Oh wow! And were you in LA or Philadelphia?
In LA.
Oh, so you've only dated in LA, so you don't know what the real world dating is like at all.
Nope, I guess not.
But you've had a steady stream of, you've had plenty of dates, right? Like you haven't had, like you're doing okay, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Is it like a seriously difficult city to date in because everyone's
not for Jen.
constantly it's like there's so many options, you're just constantly turning and turning and turning.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't say yeah, I mean there was a good bit of options. I mean, I've seen like my female friends who are dating men, like it's just a nonstop like stream of people. So but I'd say it's pretty easy.
Wow. You. Wait, what is the lesbian online app?
Well, I mean, I met my partner on Bumble, but that's for like
Bumble.
anybody. Yeah, I feel like that's like Bumble is like when you want to be serious. And like you're an adult and you want to date, like not to be like adulting because I hate that term, but like when you want to like date someone who's like more like in a good place in life. Tinder. What was that?
Not just a hookup app.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was gonna say, Tinder is like the world's on fire. Let's just do this. There is no tomorrow. Like,
how funny. And I feel like younger people are on Bumble. It seems like.
Yeah, I'd say like not super young, but yeah. And there's one called Her for lesbians and like bisexual women, and that was like kooky as hell. Like I met one woman and she was like, we were at Griffith Park and out of nowhere she like ran off and I was like, where are you going? And she like picked up this huge, obviously fake gold chain, like a necklace. And she was like, now I have rent money. And I was like, wait, what? You didn't have rent money before this moment? Like, I understand there's struggles. Like, I'm not, but I was just like, wow, like this is happening on this date.
And how long did you guys date for?
Just that night.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like what? Yeah, that because weren't you kind of afraid the rest of the time you spent with her?
Yeah, because she was like searching. She was like, I love finding treasure. And like she would seriously pick up like a piece of like a gum wrapper and be like, sorry, I thought it was silver, and like throw it. And I was like, stop picking trash up.
Did you have a metal detector with her? So I
asked her if she had one, and she was like, I do, of course I do. And I was like, okay.
Being on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but you know.
It's probably long hours of boring. Not only have I never had a metal detector, I don't think I've ever touched a metal detector.
I've seen people with them though.
Sure.
I have a metal detector.
You have one?
I had one when I was I must have been like maybe 10 or 11 years old, and just thought it was the coolest thing. It was like treasure hunting, right? Yeah. It was orange. And I'm sure it wasn't very effective, or I just never found anything. Like I remember maybe 2 times going out with it into the backyard or the local area and just like getting bored pretty quickly because you're not finding anything. I mean, I'm looking at my backyard, like I should be going to like a public space where people might actually be dropping.
In your backyard, that's really funny. Poor Nathan, he didn't find anything. Let's go drop something, honey, and let him find something. Well, I'd love to talk to you about horror. Maybe we'll have you back on for a dating horrors, because we've never done dating horror shows, and we should.
Oh, dating horrors, like terrible things that have happened during dates.
Yeah, and weird hookups. I want to know, Jen, are you authorized to reveal the lesbian agenda?
No.
You're not? So you will not tell us what the lesbian agenda is?
I mean, I guess I could.
Wait, I know what it is.
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
So isn't it to just eliminate men? Right?
No,
that's a myth.
That's so racist, Nathan.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say what I think it is, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Because I've told what the gay boy. Do you know what the gay boy agenda is, Jen?
No.
The gay boy agenda is what? Go ahead.
They've never revealed it to me.
I'm going to reveal it right now, so get ready. The gay boy agenda is to spend at least 3 months' salary on a cute pair of shoes and to get hot dudes to take their tops off. That's the gay boy agenda. That's the agenda every gay boy you will ever meet has. I think that the lesbian agenda, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it is to learn just enough about world events to make other people feel bad about not doing enough.
How did you know?
Because I've known a lot of lesbians.
I would say that's accurate.
What, Nathan?
I have another theory for the lesbian agenda.
What?
It's to make U-Haul free for all.
Yes. You're both right.
The lesbians want the feminine products and U-Haul to be free.
Yes.
What is your lesbian agenda?
I would say it changed since the pandemic, but it used to be just play kickball and drink beer.
Oh, that's cute. What league are you? What was the name of your team?
I was on a couple different teams. I was first on the Cindy's. They were it was an L word reference.
Oh.
Or no, My Lover Cindy. That's what it was. My Lover Cindy. Because there was a character who is this like total like douchebag club owner woman, and she would always say my lover Cindy when she would talk about her girlfriend. She would never say like, oh, Cindy, or like my girlfriend Cindy. She'd be like my lover funny. Cindy. So that's where we came. And then the other team was the Favorites.
I want to be in a band called the Cindy's. I would love to be in a band.
Yeah, the Cindy's, that would be a good band.
Okay. First of all, who is the girl you most have a crush on in the L word? And then who's your celebrity lesbian crush?
I would say my L word crush would have to be Bet, even though she's a dick.
And Bet, who's she played by?
Jennifer Beals.
Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, Jennifer Beals. Yeah.
Oh, she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of girls I knew liked the Butch one, the tall Butch one. I forget her name. They super have a crush on her. Shane. We're super into Shane, but you're not into Shane.
No,
not you. And who's your lesbian girl celebrity crush?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, really?
Oh yeah.
How funny.
Here's a button. She's super cute.
She is. She is. And she's playing Princess Diana in the upcoming film.
Get out of town, seriously?
Full circle. Dead serious.
Wait, did you have a crush on Princess Diana?
A little bit, yeah. As a kid.
Sorry, Nathan, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say before we wrap it up, I know that storytelling is true to near and dear to your heart. I was wondering if you wanted to say a few things about that. Because you're not doing it now, are you? Are you doing stuff online or?
Yeah, I do stuff online sometimes, and there's like one show out in the park that I do.
Okay.
Where is it and when?
It's in Griffith Park, and I think it's on May 16th. It's Sunday, so it's coming up.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. And is it just anyone can go? And
yeah, anyone can go. It's like really, it's so nice because it's there's this like tiny Greek theater near the really big, like the legit Greek theater. So people go, and it's really nice. It's been fun. I've done it a couple times since getting vaccinated.
What's it called, and where can you find it online?
It's called Hodgepodge, and you can find it on Instagram. I'll share it with you guys if you want to share it.
Great. How are storytelling shows? Are they set up where they're thematic, and then you kind of brainstorm a story off of that, or how do you find like that perfect story to tell whenever you do a show?
Sometimes they are thematic, and then I'll like craft a story around that, or sometimes people will just be like, do you want to tell a story? And I'll like either take an old one, like I've like crafted a few like really solid ones that I've like spruced up over the years, and then sometimes I'm just like, I watched The Last Blockbuster, the documentary, and I thought about this story. It was just a random time, like it was right when The Sopranos started, And everybody was like, Jen's dad is in the mafia. And I was like, that's not true. I was like so deeply offended. I don't know why. And but he actually, it was funny because like he was like, I gotta go out. And he left one night. And then the next morning I came downstairs and there was this huge big screen TV and like tons of VHS tapes. And I was like, what the it's true. Like I was like, it's so true. So I'm like trying to craft that story. Like it's not true. He is a property manager and a Blockbuster closed and left all that shit there. Like that's all it was. But it was right at the right moment. So I was like, it's, oh my God, everybody was right. He robbed a Blockbuster.
Oh, that's funny. I want to go see. It's are you one of those people that can tell it just tell it off the top of your head, or do you need to read it as you go, or how do you do the storytelling?
No, I just do it off the top of my head. Like I'll either incredible. Like sometimes I'll write it out and then I'll like distill it down to a structure, or sometimes I'll just know it and I'll distill it into a structure, and then I'll like do, because I do like I had improv training, I like kind of come up with jokes on the spot. So like pepper in. What's
the what does it take for something to be a good story?
I would say I mean, obviously the structure, good beginning, middle, end, but also like something other people can, you know, like identify with. So it's like that Blockbuster thing, like everybody knows The Sopranos. Like everybody can like think like, oh, what would it be like to find out your parent is a mafia member? Like, you know, so just stuff like that. Like something anyone can kind of be like, oh man, what would I do in that situation?
I think it's incredible when someone could just tell a story at the top of their head, because I've done storytelling and it's not easy to stand in front of an audience and tell a story and remember and be compelling. It's not easy.
For sure. Yes. I mean, sometimes I've like forgotten whole chunks of things and I'm just like, yep, and that's that.
So you just end it. You're like, "Okay, thanks for listening."
Yeah, there was one time right before the pandemic, I was telling this story about when I was in 5th grade. We did this like overnight camping thing, and they found a dead body in a suitcase, and it's still like to this day, it's like an unsolved mystery in Chester County, PA. And my mom had to pick me up early, and she was like, get in the car. But like, I just totally like blanked out, and I was like, and there was a dead body. And I was like, have a good night, everybody. Like, that's my time. And it was like a minute. So it happens. And they were like, whose body?
You're like, don't know. I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, the most important question of all, and it rests on you. You're the representative of all lesbians, right?
I know.
Okay, why are there like 5 megastar lesbian comedians and there are no gay boy megastar comedians?
It goes back to that sadness thing. Like I was saying with the lesbian bars being sad. I think you need to have, and I'm not saying gay boys don't go through sadness. I'm just saying lesbians have that sadness thing nailed down.
But I think that well, okay, we might argue on this, but I think that gay boys suffer more.
Yeah, I would agree.
But lesbians are sadder? Oh, go ahead, Nathan. What'd you say?
I was going to say, so I can understand like the pathos that maybe lesbians just get deeper into it and can really like hone it and tear it apart or something. But why would you say gay boys are sadder?
No, gay boys suffer more.
Oh, suffer more. Why would you say? Yeah. Why would you say they suffer?
Why would you say that, Jen?
I would say that because I feel like there is like a lot more. I mean, obviously I didn't live it as an experience, but I feel like in talking to gay men, it seems like you're a bit more of a target for the hate. I hate to say that, but that's how it seems. And I feel like in a way, like lesbians can definitely, not all of them obviously, but I'm just saying somehow it feels more like we can slip around some of the prejudice.
100%. The social I can't say the word ostracization. You know the word I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it doesn't only come from other straight boys. Like, you get a lot of hatred from girls. It's weird. Like, girls just hate, and then they want to out, and girls want to out you to the school for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that in high school, and it was so weird. It was like such a strange thing to me. Like there was one situation, there was a guy in high school, and like this girl is pissed, and she told his parents, and then his parents like sent him somewhere. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but like, I mean, just that idea of sending you somewhere for that is like, I'm gonna guess it was somewhere terrible, like a conversion camp. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't usually send you to Cabo.
They don't.
Yeah. And not only that, it's that gay boys are super mean to other gay boys. Like, if you're not hot, you're nothing in the gay boy world. You're nothing. You're less. If you're not hot or a funny drag queen or famous and with money, you're nothing in the gay boy world. But you could be just kind in the lesbian world and be good, right?
Not always.
What's it like? Just give us a little bit before we wrap up. Tell us about the lesbian world and the ostracization amongst, or the acceptance or the ostracization amongst other lesbians. I
would say it's a little bit, not to the same scale, but it's a little bit like that. What you're saying with the gay men is like, they definitely will be like, well, like, do you make $100,000? You know, are you famous? Like, do you know famous people? Do you have a house with a yard and a pool? Like, and I'm like, calm down. Like, we all know I'm over here telling stories, you know, like not making much money. So it's like a little bit of that. And I feel like that's more of like a recent thing. Like in the last few years, it's gotten definitely more judgmental like that. And I would say, something that I've obviously never experienced, but I hear it a lot from transgender women who are lesbians, that like transgender lesbians often get just left out of the conversation completely. So that's really shitty. So I do recognize that there is like a lot of prejudice, and not the most intersectional group of people, lesbians. Again, not damning us all, but
yeah. But at least there's a lot less emphasis on appearance with lesbians.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, because I have a guy friend who went into the gay men kickball league, and he was like, "I'm just a fucking substitute teacher." Like, nobody, like, they ignored him. Like, he was like non-existent, and I was like, "Paul, you're so great. Like, come join the lesbians. We'll buy you a beer and talk to you."
That's another reason for the obsession. I went to gay pride once with a lesbian, and I told her this, and she's like, "No, David, you're so negative. Gay boys are just as nice." And I was like, "Watch. We're walking up to gay pride, and there's a group of, admittedly, they're very attractive gay boys." And I was like, "Hey guys, happy gay pride." And they all looked at each other and looked at me, and they even said out loud, like, "Do we know him?" And then a group of lesbians came by. I'm like, "Hey guys, happy gay day." Every single lesbian's like, "Happy gay day, have a nice day." And I did it literally like 4 or 5 times. Every time the lesbians would wave and say happy gay day, the gay guys every time would look me up and down and be like, they wouldn't even say hi or happy nothing.
Damn.
Nothing. That's LA gay. And I have to admit, it is different on the East Coast. Whenever I go to New York, I get attention, but in LA, I'm invisible.
Why don't you move to New York?
All right, let's go to New York. I'll go to Philly.
Come to Philly.
Is Philly more gay now? Is it like a bigger gay scene, or?
I don't know. Is Philly gayer, Nathan?
I don't know. I mean, there's the Gayborhood.
Yeah.
And it was really a 2 by 3 block radius or something.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've been here just a few months. There's several months at this point since returning. So.
And you haven't gone out to the gay bars with your baby?
No, I've just been in my house for all that time. Remember, it's COVID, so I haven't done.
Yeah, it's true. We've all been in the house.
Yeah, but I did a few gay plays. There was some some of the first plays I did were all like during gay theater festivals. Yeah, so I did a few of those, and I felt welcomed by the community, but
it's 100% about appearance.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Well,
right.
I think you're very good looking, David.
Yeah,
well,
I think
thank
you're
you.
very
Will you be my boyfriend, Jen?
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Let's do this.
Let's
Let's
do
U-Haul.
this. I would totally. We don't have to have sex. We don't have to kiss. I'll give you gifts, and you just have to talk about how rocking my body is, and that's the relationship.
Perfect.
Wouldn't that be an awesome relationship? All right, cool. Let's do it. Definitely post about your upcoming events on our page, so people can go and see it, and you can post it right on the thing. All right, before we leave, anything you want to tell us as a lesbian? Because from this point on, you will no longer be Jen the lesbian. You will be Jen the person who just happens to be lesbian. So we need to get it all out. So as a lesbian, what do you want to say or ask?
I just want to say, if you're on a date and someone talks about being a cheerleader in high school, wrap that up. Just leave. Just leave.
Why? Wait, why? Because that's who I hung out with in high school, is all the cheerleaders.
Really?
And I made out with all the cheerleaders. But go ahead, yeah. Yeah,
but as an adult, if you're still riding high on your high school cheerleading time, like, like I'm not trying to be judgmental, but like in my experience, the people who have done that have always been shitty people.
I understand. That makes sense. It should come out later. Like they should kind of try to keep it under wraps, and it'd be something you should be kind of embarrassed about later, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be embarrassed. You can. It doesn't. Yeah, like handle it in like an adult context. Like it was like something. Like the couple of people I've ever met that did that, like acted like they had won something in life. Like they were flashing it like a badge, and I'm like, stop.
Well, in their defense, I agree with you, but in their defense, when you're a cheerleader, especially in my high school, you were kind of famous.
Okay.
No, that's true. And for you to brag and say that you've made out with all the cheerleaders, do you know how jealous I am? Like, come on. I don't think I made out with one cheerleader when I was.
You didn't?
Really?
No. I don't think
so.
I guess I peaked in high school.
That I missed because I was an idiot. Didn't know. You're supposed to make a move, but
it's like I told you before, Nathan. Like I was really nice to the girls. Like, hey, like all my friends were girls, and I didn't like I'd be nice to them, and then I didn't care because I wasn't interested in them. And teenage girls lose their fucking minds when you're not interested in them. So it's they probably could feel that you were interested in them and I wasn't, so they would like come after me. Like it was just like because I would talk about our thoughts and feelings, and then I would leave and go off somewhere else. And they'd be like, "Where did he go? What's happening?" So it's just like that's what it is. That's what you got to teach your sons.
Okay. Well, Jen, thank you for coming on the show. I'm gonna try and wrap it up the way Erin would. She does it every week, and it's funny because what the heck did she say? Do I even listen?
Oh no!
Find us on Facebook or YouTube, an Imaginary Friend Cast.
We're also on Instagram and Twitter.
Don't go to Twitter. I know we always say that. Don't go to.
But we are on Twitter. Why do you guys keep saying to go on Twitter? We're on Twitter.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. What's a tweet?
And we also, Jen, give us your links.
Yeah. So I'm just on Instagram at Jen Curcio, but I spell it weird because I'm spooky. CURSEO. And then A Touch from the Past is also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz. That's on Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. So that's about it.
That's awesome. Okay, now we end it a certain way. I don't know if you've heard any of our podcasts. We end it a certain way. So I want you to with me, I want you to say the quote. We're going to do it on 3. Jen, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm a lesbian, a bitch, a slut, and a whore.
And a whore.
See, she knew it. She knew it's a very famous quote. So she knew it. All right. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
See ya!